Yeah, folks. From the Ten Commandments can only mean one thing. You've got God on the line. God joins us right now. How are you, God?
Yeah, good. How are you?
You sound pretty laid back.
Well, I'm not so busy right now. Like, I'm just hanging at an Irish pub. And just
You're at an Irish pub. Where are you?
in White Avenue in Edmonton.
On White Avenue in Edmonton.
It's sort of a nice cultural area with lots of cafes and just...
It's very godly of you. At an Irish pub, my mom and dad would be happy to hear that. Now...
I don't drink, but, I mean, just have nice...
Well, what are you doing in a pub?
Well, it's just a nice place. They have nice music here. And
Okay, so...
Nice people, and it's just nice social atmosphere.
We should tell people a little bit about you. God is, you're in Edmonton. You're bilingual, correct?
Yep.
How long have you been known as God?
I first used the name in India about 10 years ago, in 2000.
And
It was just sort of fun, just playful. Like, I was living in this commune where everybody changes their name to Shiva or Durga or Bhagwan and some sort of godly or spiritual name that means love or divine nature of some sort. It was just sort of the English translation of one of these words, and it was just a nice playful way to play with that.
has anybody thought that this was blasphemous?
No, well, not that I've met. I'm sure there's people that think everything, but I mean, I haven't come across anybody like that. Like, I just meet people that are just really happy to meet somebody that's just really having fun with life and having a playful attitude towards something that's been taken really spiritual and serious and has a sort of heavy burden around it.
Now, you call yourself, your actual name is God Dieux.
Yeah.
Now, why, your old name was John Paul Lapointe. John Paul's pretty godly,
they got that
too.
wrong. They got that wrong. It's Paul John Lapointe.
Paul John.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Dieu?
Dieu, just French, just like bilingual. So, but I guess I put the plural, and one French guy said he said that's even better. You're God of gods. And I thought, okay, cool.
Now, tell us a little bit about how does one get to this point. How old are you, by the way?
33.
You're 33.
Yeah.
How does one get to be at 33? That's peaking really early, I think, to be God at that early of an age. Tell us a little bit about you, because one might think your resume. Everybody always brings up that you did you do 5 years in Japan in prison?
Yeah, 5.5. Yeah.
You were smuggling marijuana, correct?
Yeah. I was just trying to fund my travels and stay in India for longer, just on this sort of spiritual journey. And then when I got arrested, I thought, perfect. I get to really be alone and meditate now. Now I just go in, and I just sort of went in, and then just sort of became very still within myself, like found a sort of still point. And I started writing a lot and wrote a book while I was in prison, or at least half the book. And then the other half I wrote after I got out, and just sort of a spiritual sharing. And the first half's just...
What is prison like?
It's totally Zen-like in India, in Japan. It's basically 1930s German military-style prison, but it's taken over by the Japanese, so they make it totally Zen-like and just everybody marching. Nobody gets beat up, but it's like systematic torture. If you don't work, you get tortured and you get put on a little wooden box, and you have to sit for 10 hours a day for like a whole month. And I just refused to work after a few months, and they just started torturing me over and over again.
What kind of torture? What kind of...
It's psychological torture. They put you in isolation, no books, no exercise, no washing or anything, and then you just sit on a box. And I was already a very good meditator, so I just sat all day and meditating and just enjoying. And I thought, this is great. They're watching me, making sure I'm a good meditator. So
And you did 5 years like that?
No, the first year was like in Fuchu. They did that, and then I wrote them a note one day, like a joke. I just said, I love Zen shobats. Like, shobats means punishment in Japanese. And I said, please give me more. And after that, they thought, oh, this guy, that's okay. And they just left me alone. And I just wrote and did lots of sort of healing things.
Did you learn to speak Japanese while you were there?
Hey! Skoshi, a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I didn't have a lot of people to talk to because I was in solitary the whole time. And I would just talk to the guard like a little bit, and the workers that would come by, like the other inmates that were serving food, and I met a Catholic priest once a month. And
now, did you have a hard time convincing the Alberta government that it would be okay for you to use the name God? Some people would suggest that perhaps that might not be appropriate. Apparently, they looked at the books up and down, and they couldn't figure any reason to make it not happen for you.
Well, the girls in the office, they said there's no way you're going to get that name. It's offensive to Christians, and so I wrote a letter. I said, Canada is no longer just a Christian society; it's a multicultural society.
And they dug that.
And there's people called Bhagwan in Canada, which means God incarnate in Hindi, and Shiva and Kali and Durga, which are all gods.
Thank you very much, God, for your time.
Okay, just if anybody wants to order my book, it's available through www.god-dieux.com. Take care.
Very good, ladies and gentlemen. That was God, I think. Or we're in a lot of trouble. Thanks to Britt, Nick, and Drew. I'm Jim Richards. Have a great weekend. The live drive with John Tory is coming up.